It's 7:30 on Thursday evening. I've just arrived from the airport. This is the entrance to the circuit here in Teussenthal for the MXGP of Germany. The last team trucks and campers are setting up in the paddock, which is where I'm off to now. Well, that was a bit of a journey. I'm just going to shelter here by Red Bull KTM as it's starting to rain, and that's never a good sign. But you get the feeling that despite all the glitz, glamour and big names, motocross at its heart is still just about throwing your bike in the back of your van with an easy up, rocking up to the races and just giving it your all. That is what motocross is all about. Welcome to Germany. It's 2:11 on Friday. We've just had a heavy rain shower, which I think may start again, so I'm going to seek shelter under one of the tunnels here at the track, where I think I'll find 2008 world champion David Philippaerts. Hi, David.
Hello.
Let's discuss Majora. Talk us through that whole shot in the first race that pretty much set everything up for you.
Yeah, it's good race. It's good to start. Before going the gate, I prepared one gate, much inside than the outside. But after I see the truck drive to clean the start more outside, and I say, okay, we start there. We speak with my mechanic, and we try to go much possible outside, no? And when I start after the gate, my bike is so strong, and also it wheelie a little bit, and the start first in the first corner, half of the race is finished, no? It's good,
yeah.
And so happy.
When you were winning GPs and fighting for the championship, you were with a factory team. Now you've got your own team, private team. Does that make it more stressful for you? Can you compare the two?
When win one race with the private team, it's the same dream. Also, when I'm the bike and my mechanics say maybe win the race, I feel one energy in my body different than when they have just a rider, no? Because when they have in the factory team, we have a lot job in 1 week, and when going the good race in Majora for me is one dream, no? Because after win the title, go close to the podium in the private team, I think so. It's not easy. Nobody have.
Amazing achievement.
Yeah.
Motocross is known to be a young man's sport. It's very demanding physically. How do you do it? How do you keep up with it all?
I think so. I'm more young now than before because I training more now than before. I think so because my body is more old, but also more complete. No, I think so more professional now because I'm old. I have to have more professional. No, and when I see the young rider to have same me 5 years to go more easy, no? And I think so. When it's old, it's different, no? And now I know, and yeah.
Thanks, David. I really hope you can build on that, and it's great to understand that need for positivity in racing. I'll see you on Sunday. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Bye. The German weather really isn't being very kind to us today, but it's 4 p.m. and as we all know, motocross is all about keeping calm under pressure. And ensconced in the TV studio to my right is the standings construct Yamaha Yamalube team that are doing an experiment with performance under pressure.
Up. Some months have 31 days. How many have 28? One, it's February.
Divide 30 in half and add 10. What is the answer? 25.
What is your favorite part of the bike? Actually, the standing Yamaha bike, it's very awesome. Everything it fit perfectly for my riding style.
What is your best race ever? Yeah, beginning of the year, the first race in Qatar was unexpected to finish directly on the second place and on the podium, so that was really, really good.
How many times can you subtract the number 10 from 1000? 100, yeah, sorry.
What is your worst racing moment? Yeah, I think this year in Thailand when I crashed in the first heat, I was riding third place and yeah, hit the ground really hard and I injured my leg a bit.
What is the hardest part of being a motocross racer? It's to be always working hard to be better and better, and sometimes it's a difficult moment, but you have to continue to work to make better results.
Who is the best team manager? Yeah, Team Mattis for sure.
What is your best race ever? Two, Motocross of Nations 2013 and England 2015 when I went to race. And then I make échec et mat, and I want to kill the no, not the queen, the king. Oh la la! More easy to ride a bike than to do that. Huh?
It's evening time, about 7:45. The sun is going down, and this is my last port of call at Rockstar Energy Suzuki for a certain Kevin Strijbos. Hey Kevin, how are you?
Good, and you?
Good, not too bad. Right, I'm going to get to the point. Let's talk about Majora. I know you're very good friends with Max Nagel.
Yes.
He's fighting for the championship, for the title. Was there any point where you thought you weren't going to make that pass on him, just purely out of respect, I guess?
Not really, you know, because I think on a race, or in a race, you know, we are not friends. I mean, we are friends, but still, you know, we are fighting for every championship point and every podium, you know, and every win. And my mechanic put on the pit boards like halfway through, you know, I had to take first place to get the podium. So at that point, you know, I thought, yeah, you know, I cannot make it, but I think in one lap, I think he made some mistake and I catched him, and I knew there was just like one or two spots where I could try or to show him a real save, you know, because I didn't want to take him out or stuff like that, because I knew that he was leading the championship. So yeah, that's what I tried, and then he passed me back, he made a mistake, and so yeah, and that's history.
Yeah, I guess. Now, I know you had an injured thumb. If it's good enough to win a race in the wet, then I'm sure it's good enough to do a thumb war. Do you know what a thumb war is?
No, I don't.
I'm going to show you what a thumb war is. You're going to love it. Okay. So we go like this. And I say 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. Then you have to try and get my thumb and pin it down like this. And then I have to try and get your thumb and pin it down. And whoever's got the best thumb wins.
Hopefully
No
me.
pressure. Okay? Should we start? 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war.
1, 2, 3, 4. I won the thumb war.
Your thumb's fine. I don't know what you're talking about. It's
Hopefully.
fine. No
We'll see in the
problem
weekend.
there. Did you like that game?
So.
No, I enjoy it. We're here in Teufelstal, hard pack track. I guess you can do some damage here.
Yeah, you know, the thumb is still, it's okay, you know, it's not like it's really fine yet, but
It seems fine.
yeah, with the game seems fine, you know, with the racing, with the jumps and all that, so I still have to be a little bit careful. So that's why it was good, you know, with the mud race last week. I just gonna try to take a good start, and I think that's the most important thing at the moment in the races.
Thanks, Kevin. Good luck for Sunday. Well, that's it here from the track on Friday. The next thing you guys are going to see is Max Nagel and Tim Geiser taking you on a lap of this Teufelstal track on Saturday morning.
Max Nagel, number 12, riding for Red Bull IS1 Husqvarna Factory Racing Team.
It's Tim Geiser, 243, riding for Honda Garibaldi Racing.
It's a downhill start straight here at Teufelstal, nice and wide, but then it funnels down into this left-hander, banked to the outside, giving the riders lots of opportunity to really get in and get on the gas to start their climb up and over the first of the Monster Energy jumps. A short tabletop into turn 2. Again, a nice wide turn. Short straight over a tabletop, and then dropping down into the bottom of the dip, turning right, and then we head across the start straight at a 45-degree angle into the tight 180 left. That leads the riders back down the old start straight past pit lane, about 100 meters long, into a right-hander 90-degree turn, dropping downhill and then up and over the Monster Energy finish line jump. Landing hard on the brakes at this point here into a 180 left, turn 6. Again, banked to the outside, and on the exit, a nice short tabletop, landing into a 180 right, turn 7. Starts to fall away on the exit. The riders then head through a series of 3-4 ways, giant rollers, and then up and over a step up on the turn. Over another single, choice of lines through the next left-hander, and then we have a double jump stepping down here, and then you can triple or double into this next left-hander. If you triple, chances are you go to the outside. Either way, on the exit, you have a step down under the Ippon banner, over a single into this right-hander, and it's the second of the Monster Energy jumps. Short little tabletop takes the riders down through the valley, and then next series of turns and straights meanders from one side of the valley to the other through a series of right and left 180-degree turns right in front of the main spectator area. Out of the left onto a plateau, right in front of the main spectator area here, through this corner tabletop, dropping downhill into a tight right, and then we jump back on to the circuit where we rejoin at turn 1, but we'll continue through towards the finish line. So back down through the dip, over the Monster Energy Mountain. Remember, Eli Tomac had a spectacular crash there at the Motocross of Nations in 2013. Riders really now at this point of the race gathering speed to get through this part of the racetrack. Over this step down into the bottom part of the valley, and then across the start straight once more towards the skybox, towards the waiting zone. The fans up there getting a real good view of the riders all around this racetrack here. And for the final time then into the penultimate corner, past pit lane, through the right, and that takes us down through the dip for the final time and over the Monster Energy finish line jump. And that's a lap of Teufelstal.
Since that GoPro lap, we've had the qualifying races where Max Nagel had this crash. Right now he's in hospital getting his ankle checked out, while a relaxed but slightly sombre Paddock await for news on the championship leader. We'll know more tomorrow. Welcome back to Germany for Sunday. It's 12:30. We've got about half an hour before the races start, but one man we know who isn't racing is Max Nagel, who's had a pin put in to repair the small fracture on his ankle. And all the team can do is cross their fingers in the hope that he'll be ready to race again in Sweden. Here in Germany, the races will go ahead and there's important points to be had. We've been waiting all weekend and now it's time for MX2 Race 1.
Jeffrey Herlings arrived in Germany with a 139-point advantage over his rivals. Max Anstey didn't make a great start into turn 1, but it was Tonkov who grabbed the whole shot. Jeffrey Herlings, though, scrubbed his way over the top of the hill, got it completely wrong on the opening lap, crashed out spectacularly. And when he picked himself up, it was clear that Herlings was struggling with an injury to the right shoulder. Meanwhile, Petr Petrov had a great start as Herlings had made his way back to the pit lane area to undergo further observation. It was clear a broken collarbone was diagnosed. Up front, though, Tonkov fended off the challenge from Tim Geiser. Tixier was in third, but Tonkov's race came to an end when he got it wrong through the wave section, was over the handlebars, and the Russian was down and out, would not finish race 1. Tim Geiser, meanwhile, was leading. Petrov was having one of the best races of the season so far. Tixier tried to keep Geiser in his sights as Max Anstey, number 99, recovering from a poor start, was charging through the field. Found his way around the outside of both the HSF Logistics KTMs of Borges and Juss, and eventually he found his way inside the top 10. Valentin Guillot was on a charge and with 3 laps to go made this pass on Jordi Tixier to move into second, but Geiser was just too far ahead. The flag went out though, and it was a win for Geiser. With Max Nagel out, 2 riders stood to gain the most in MXGP, Romain Fevre and Tony Cairoli. When the gate dropped, the MXGP riders charged down into turn 1, and it was Cairoli who thought he'd grabbed the foxhole shot, but it was Dean Ferris ahead of Fevre and Cairoli. The 2 Hondas of Paulin and Bobryshev were well placed as well, and it was Bobryshev who managed to hold on ahead of his teammate Paulin in the early stages of the race, as Ferris was doing a great job of leading Romain Fevre. Fevre tried on several occasions to find a way through, but the Australian made him wait. Todd Waters fell and took Cairoli with him, both of those guys going out of 10th and 11th, and eventually Fevre's moment came, and he didn't waste it either. The Yamaha rider was into the lead as Ferris started to fade backwards as the big guns came through. Bobryshev was one of those riders. Paulin went through as well. And then Jeremy Van Hoorbeek forced the Husqvarna rider back under the position. It was still pretty close at the front. Kevin Strijbos charged down the inside of Ferris to move into 5th place. on his Suzuki. But Cairoli, well, it was a case of damage limitation for the KTM rider, trying to pick up as many points as possible. But what about Romain Febvre leading once again? Sean Simpson came home in a very respectable 6th position as a result of Kender Dyker crashing out in the closing stages of the race. But it was Febvre who won race 1. Three riders went slightly too early at the start of MX2 Race 2. Petrov, Tixier and Guillaume. They all got caught in the start gate as Max Anstey charged to the foxhole shot on the number 99 Kawasaki, followed by Jonas on the KTM. Julian Lieber, Jeremy Seewer and Tim Geiser were all placed inside the top 5. But all eyes were on Tim Geiser. Could he win race 2? Well, he found his way past the 41 of Jonas to get himself into 3rd. And then went after Julian Lieber and Max Anstey as Petr Petrov came in for some running repairs. Julian Lieber stayed ahead of Geiser, but only for a brief moment as the Slovenian charged his way into 2nd before chasing down the Kawasaki of Max Anstey. Guillaume, though, was on the charge. Found his way past the HSF KTM of Brian Borges as Tixier fell out of 8th. He lost a position, but then started the process of working his way back towards the front. Lieber and Seewer fighting over 3rd. And all the time, Guillaume was closing in, but then he made a mistake. A few laps from the end, didn't lose any ground, remounted in 5th place as Tixier found his way past number 41 Jonas to get into 6th. That's where Tixier would stay. But it was all about Geiser and Anstey in race number 2. It was Anstey who took the checkered flag to win the race, his first of the season. And Herlings now has a 100-point advantage over Geiser. Guillaume is 3rd. But it was Geiser who won his 3rd Grand Prix of the year. Antonio Cairoli and Dean Ferris duked it out for the foxhole shot once again, but this time it was Cairoli who managed to exit turn 1 at the head of the field. Ferris was right there in 2nd. Paulin was 3rd as Bobashev crashed at the first corner. Van Horbeek fell early on, would pick himself up in 11th, as Boutron also fell, this time from 5th place for the Spaniard. Cairoli was doing a great job hanging on in 2nd position despite his arm injuries. While Koldenhoff was being caught and passed, Bobashev was charging through the field. That pass on Frossard put him into 11th as Philippaerts went out. Tony Cairoli, though, started to feel the pressure. First of all, it was Paulin who went through, and then Febvre. Cairoli was suddenly in 4th as Paulin and Febvre battled it out at the head of the field. Dean Ferris was having a great ride on his Husqvarna, but even he couldn't keep back the 461 of Romain Febvre as he moved into 2nd. Ferris at that point was in 3rd. Todd Waters found himself being pushed aside, so too did Dean Ferris. Cairoli been pushed back to 5th. And this charge by Strijbos moved him into 3rd, but it was Paulin who won the race. Febvre, though, won his 3rd Grand Prix of the season. Paulin 2nd, Strijbos 3rd. And the championship now looks like this. Febvre is the new championship leader. 9 points clear of Nagel, with Cairoli being pushed back to 3rd. Next stop is Sweden in 2 weeks' time.